everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to another video. I recently saw this article that I wanted to take a look at together today. Melissa McCarthy popped into the headlines in connection with Meghan Markle because she was attending the Broadway opening of Sussexes, and she was asked about Meghan Markle. Let's see what she said first. This article reads, Melissa McCarthy has Meghan Markle's back, and she's perplexed and dismayed at the vicious barrage of hate hurled towards the Suits star. She says, quote, "It bums me out for every woman and every person that for no reason people just like to attack. A smart, interesting woman that has her own life, for some reason, is incredibly threatening to some people. I always think how inspiring. I've never once been threatened by someone who is amazing. I just think how inspiring. It's really on the people throwing the hate." She adds that Meghan is wonderful and awesome. Melissa McCarthy was last tied to Meghan Markle in 2021, so like 3 years ago, for a video celebrating Markle's 40th birthday and the launch of a mentorship program entitled 40 by 40 that just immediately sank into obscurity. No other stars got on board with this 40 by 40 thing, did not pick up on social media. Nobody did it. Nobody cared. It was quite embarrassing. And as many have pointed out or might remember, it was an exact copy of Barack Obama's, I think it was 60 by 60. And there are a few elements to this article that I found quite interesting. Now, I do like Melissa McCarthy. I think that she has been a leader on and off screen in a lot of ways. She has been hugely successful. But like a lot of people who don't follow the royal family and this whole Sussex drama saga that's been going on for years and years, she doesn't seem to have a very good understanding of the background of this whole situation, which is completely fine and fair until such point that you start commenting on it. At the same time, these celebrities, when they're asked by just some random media person on the street, there is no filter of what questions get thrown your way. And if you are a celebrity and you're asked a question about somebody who you maybe don't really feel comfortable answering, there's not very many good outs. A lot of celebrities default to just saying sort of generically nice things or sort of broad umbrella statements similar to this. Simply saying, I've never been threatened by this person and I think that they're fine or they're awesome or they're wonderful, even if they don't really have much of a connection with that person, don't follow that person, and don't have much else to say. They just default to something positive. The reason being, at least you don't get in trouble for that. They can't very well just decline to answer the question because then people will be like, ooh, this person decided they didn't even want to answer this question. What happened? And it'll create all these stories about what possibly was the fallout here. A lot of celebrities just don't want that type of PR at all. Also, celebrities are generally advised against saying anything negative about anybody at all in these sorts of scenarios. If they're just asked in passing by a media outlet, saying something negative, even if that's how they genuinely feel, does run the risk of them being painted in a bad light and having negative headlines. So PR people, agents, publicists often coach celebrities to not say negative things ever. It's like either decline if you really have to, or find something positive and vapid to say and try to steer the conversation somewhere else as quickly as possible. Start referencing something else about your reason for being there. And that's the other thing. She was there to see Suffs. It's a Broadway play about the suffragette movement. That's what she was there for. So for these people to be asking her about Meghan Markle at all, when, as I said, the last time she had any connection with Meghan was like 3 years ago, was really unfair to Melissa anyway. If she had recently worked with Meghan Markle or had a clear public friendship, like lots of Instagram posts or something like that connecting her to Meghan Markle, it would make more sense. But she doesn't. She hasn't worked with Meghan since, and she's being asked about her at a completely unrelated event. So my take on this is that she didn't really have much else to say, but something sort of generally positive. At the same time, a lot of celebrities are asked to comment on things they aren't really equipped to comment on. And these days, people are really hesitant to just simply say they don't know enough about it to give an answer, and they'd rather not say anything at all. Because again, that can often be construed in millions of different ways in the media. People often feel like they have to have an opinion on everything and have to say something in a reply to every single question they're ever asked. Ultimately, celebrities, a huge part of their career is dependent on their PR, and their publicists, as I said, really steer them away from PR disasters of speaking negatively about other people in general. And that's why you have a lot of that sort of vapid, yes, queen, everything is awesome, everything is fabulous, just patting each other's backs all over Hollywood. There's not a lot of objective criticism out there because it's just not good for business. You never know who you might work with in the future. You never know who you're working with on an upcoming project, who's best friends with that person or things like that, or connected with that person, or perhaps got their role because of that person. So the general vibe in those entertainment industry circles is to just simply not talk bad about anybody ever. So the point is, you cannot always take everything a celebrity says as gospel. And this is directly connected to one of the reasons why Harry and Meghan have not found their footing just yet. They're still sort of floundering and trying to figure out their way and trying to build a network even still. All these years later, they still don't have a really strong established reputation in the entertainment industry or successful projects yet. And a huge part of that has to do with a lot of people in the entertainment industry feeling very cautious to spend any time around Meghan or Harry at all. It's been said, and is worth repeating, if the Meghan Herald had skipped Oprah, Spare, and all those interviews with digs at the royal family and the petty press releases, then no one would be mad at them. They'd still be annoying to some extent, but the public in general are increasingly intolerant of wealthy and privileged people complaining and grandstanding, telling others what they should or shouldn't be doing. Like Prince Harry speaking at a conference about how to avoid burnout, when I cannot think of anybody less qualified to speak on burnout than Harry. If they had not exaggerated everything and tried to dramatize completely normal situations and manipulated facts in what some would say was slanderous, people would not be frustrated with Harry and Meghan, and people in the entertainment industry would not be so worried about being around them. Much like people in your normal life, if you see somebody making up stories a lot or being manipulative a lot or exaggerating all the time, you think twice about what you say to them. You think twice about being alone with them because they could turn around and say anything they want to. So once you know about all their lies and manipulations, it's very difficult to just ignore all that and take a look at anything that they're doing presently moving forward. While I'm not a fan of cancel culture per se, I do think that when somebody's been proven to be a dick, it does make sense for them to be called out. And it doesn't make sense to pretend like none of that ever happened. Those who acknowledge their mistakes and clearly show signs of growth and don't repeat those same mistakes are very different than what we see with Harry and Meghan, who have continued to repeat this pattern of rehashing years-old trivial issues and continuing to file lawsuits that are frivolous, continue to put out exaggerated stories or alternative, false versions of events for years and years. They can put out press all they want that they've moved on from this drama, but the history behind it will always be there in the background. And for anybody looking into doing projects with them in the future, would be wise to be worried and concerned that perhaps if Harry and Meghan don't get their way in this business deal or on this project, they might turn around and start saying a lot of really, really bad negative stuff that's not true in the media and might ruin someone else's career. So big players, especially in Hollywood, or people who've been around in Hollywood for a long time, simply won't find Harry and Meghan worth the risk. Meanwhile, other people, while they might not necessarily come out with anything negative to say, at the same time, they're not necessarily chomping at the bit to get involved with Harry and Meghan either. But what do you think? Please leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for this quick video today, and I hope you have a very happy day ahead. I'll see you next time.